All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and our apostles of Great Millstone taught us this truth. And salutations to the hopefully elect that's around the four corners of the globe. YAHAWAH, who the world ignorantly calls God. BAHASHAM is in the name. YAHAWASHI, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ and Jehovah. The Rakakwadash, which is the Holy Spirit. I'm the brother Iowa Lumia out here with GMS Chicago, the GMS Chicago branch. Come back at you with another lesson. And Lord willing, I hope this lesson be edifying. I'm going to just basically entitle this lesson, as you can see on the screen, 2023, the hopeful year, all the prophecies come to pass. Right. Our beloved elder Apostle Tahar coined this year, 2023, the hopeful year of all the prophecies that come to pass. And Lord will, they all do come to pass. To the MOTB, all the way up to what? Our salvation, by the way of the chariots. So let's just jump straight into it. I'm not finna waste any time. This is the book of Habakkuk 2:1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower. And it says, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Verse 2, it says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. That readeth what? The prophecies. Because we're living in very prophetic times right now. Let's read verse 3. It says, verse 3, it says for the vision, Habakkuk 2:3, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. It says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And what will not tarry? The prophecies. Like I said, I mentioned too, because we don't really have a lot of prophecies, left to go. Which is the MOTB, which is the electronic, CHIP, and our salvation, by the way of the chariots, So we don't really have a lot of prophecies left to go. As Romans 13:11 say, which I have on deck, which I'm gonna grab. Let me grab that real quick. This is the book of Romans 13:11. And it says, and that, bear with me for a second. This is the book of Romans 13:11. It says, and that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believe. Right, waking up, wake up out of this madness, that we're currently in. Talking about our people, Christianity, Islam, whatever the case may be. Wake out of this madness because what? Salvation is near. The prophecies come to pass. The Lord is going to make his second return to deliver his elect. Lord willing, we be a part of that number. But it's about that time that you wake out the madness, because the Lord is on his way back. Because our salvation is nearer than we believe. Exactly right. Let's get this. This is the book of 2 Ezra 9:1. It says that he answered me and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the science past, which I have told thee before. And how do we measure the times? By the way of the prophecies. That's how we measure the times. Different things are coming to pass right now. The pushing of the sea hip, signs of Yahawashi's second return, the destruction of Babylon the Great, Revelations the 18th chapter. We can see these moving parts, in front of our face. You can turn on the news and see that. You can read certain articles and see that, Verse 2, it says, then shalt thou understand that it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Right. Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI is visiting this world. Because what we're seeing, uproars of the people, which is, you can read about that in 2 Ezra, the 15th and 16th chapter. How they're going to have swords in their hands, sedition among men, neighbors invade one another because of the lack of bread. You can read all these things through the scriptures. These are signs that Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI is visiting the world, by the way of the prophecies that's going on, throughout the four corners of the world, mainly here in Babylon the Great. But we see these moving parts coming into play, natural disasters, Verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Right. Uproars, earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Every country you can look at right now, it's some type of major protest going on. You know, whether it be things regarding taxes, food prices, hyperinflation, you know, corruption of the government, different things of that nature. You know, we're seeing these different things right now play out in front of our faces. Earthquakes, you know, need I say more? You know, it's an earthquake happening every day, you know? But let's continue. This is the book of Ezekiel 12 and 22. It says, son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying the days are prolonged and every vision faileth? Right, this is the mindset of our people, you know? You know, when you tell our people, you know, this, that, and the fourth, that this is going to come to pass, get right before it's too late, they'll tell you along the lines of, my grandma been talking about that forever now. You know, it's not going to happen in my lifetime. You know, just a few things that Jake will say, you know, to justify, you know, keep doing what they're doing. You know, saying the days are prolonged and every vision faileth. Saying, you know, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. This is the mindset of 2/3 of our people. You know, because what? Right now we have the elect, the hopeful righteous elect, you know, preparing themselves, you know, for the dreadful day of the Lord. You know, 2/3 of our people is not preparing themselves, you know. Verse 23, it says, tell them, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahawah, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel, but say unto them, the days are at hand and at the effect of every vision. Right? It's meaning what? That these prophecies are coming to pass before our people's eyes. You know, they're no longer going to deny, the MOTB. They're no longer going to deny, Jacob's trouble. You know, because what? Our people is going to be in the midst, and our people is going to see it with their very own eyes. These prophecies come to pass. You know, Esau coming down with that great sword, Jeremiah 30 and 7. You know, Jacob's trouble. You know, so they're no longer going to say, that's not going to come to pass. This not going to come to pass, because what? They're going to see it with their very own eyes. The prophecies coming to pass. You know. But let's continue. And you know what? Let's read a prophecy. And this is one of the major prophecies before the destruction of Babylon the Great. This has to come to pass. And Lord willing, in the year 2023, it comes to pass. You know? It says, Revelation 13 and 16, it says, he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. Right? Talking about the sea hip. You know? And he is talking about the elites. He's going to cause everybody in the society, from least to greatest, to take that sea hip. And the MOTB is the sea hip. You know? If somebody tell you otherwise, they're going off. You know? Verse 17, it says that no man might buy or sell, save he had the charagma or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Right? And this has to come to pass. And Lord willing, this should be the year that all the prophecies come to pass. But this is the one we're looking for. With this thing, the sea hip being mandated, across the four corners of the world. You know? Because we know when this thing gets mandated, this place is running on fumes at that point. You know? Let's continue. This is the book of 1 Peter 4 and 7. And it says, but the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. Right? The end of all things is at hand. What? The end of this society? And what? If you can read 2 Esdras to the 6th chapter, for Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of that follower. Not meaning the world is going to blow up or things like that. We're coming to an end of an age, And that's going to happen when all these prophecies come to pass. And Lord willing, 2023 be that year of all the prophecies coming to pass. But we have to continue to pray that the Lord keeps the spirit on us, that we don't be made an example like the rest of these people out here, Yeah, it says, be therefore sober and watch unto prayer, right? We have to constantly pray, speaking to myself first and foremost, But I want to read that Habakkuk 2 and 3 again before I close out. This is the book of Habakkuk 2 and 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry, right? So these prophecies are no longer going to be prolonged, waiting several years for it to come to pass. The Lord is, is moving things along, and Lord willing, 2023 be that year. So with that being said, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to end out by giving all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakapadash. That one is to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, taught us the truth. And salutations to the hopefully like that's around the four corners of the globe. Lord willing, I hope this lesson was edifying. Until next time, Wah, Ababa, Shalom.